Testing, 1, 2. Just testing the volume. How are you doing? I'm Martin from Gardens for Life, and we're finally wireless on the microphone end. Let me know in the comments below if you can hear me properly. Take a look at this. Some of the willow species have already lost their leaves now, and this is the wonderful flaming willow. I planted this willow only this time last year, and take a look how they grew. Just like that. And aren't they magnificent? Does go from a red, dark red into more of a yellow at the bottom. It's probably one of the nicest willow varieties that I have, and it still grows really fast as well, nearly as fast as the curly corkscrew willow and the biomass willow, the hybrid, which you can see in the background here. It still hasn't lost the leaves quite. Look at this. The sun is over there, so it's not ideal filming right into the sun. Let me show you here. So it can look like that. A lot of wood. That's a lot of wood. If you have your own kindling production, it's like a factory. And look at this. A great mullein flowering stalk, about nearly 2.5 meters tall here. For those of you who ordered willow, we'll try and harvest those as soon as we can, probably next week starting, and we'll get those to you. Some of you have already received your willow, and we cut the smaller orders up already. We're trying to manage them as we go and get all your orders out well before Christmas anyway. Nina, are you working? She's a good working dog. Is a good working dog, aren't you? That's a good dog. Always hunting for the rodents. She'll keep us safe, keep our Oka safe. Oh, you cuddly now. She normally doesn't do that very much. All right, okay. Excuse me. You're on camera now. What was that? Here is Mr. Jealous. How are you doing? Oh, it's wrestle time. I know you're here for the gardening. You're not here for the dogs. I do like to throw them in. I like to call them the YouTube dogs. I didn't get them just for YouTube, but it definitely helps. Actually, I got them because we needed dogs, and it's great to get the children used to them from an early age. You can see the garden has gone a lot thinner due to the recent frost. Some of the kale has receded a little bit. I might actually do a video one of these days on doing the maintenance on the kale. This is perennial kale, Taunton Dean. I'm sure you've seen it many times in my videos, but I'm going to cut it all back, or at least some of it, and I'll show you how I do the maintenance on it, basically, how to make the most of it. One of the things I wanted to show you was the Jerusalem artichokes. You can see how they are completely gone dormant now, and I'm actually harvesting those now this week for the first time, more or less. And you can see the stalk has gone completely dry, and you can try and break it. If it snaps easily, it's definitely ready to be harvested. That means there's no more life left in it. If it's still green like that, I wouldn't harvest it. But it's literally an ocean of Jerusalem artichokes, and I haven't actually replenished the compost here since the wood chip island was actually built. That was about 6 years ago now, and I've harvested a fair few tubers from here, but I definitely would top it up once every 3 years anyway for the Jerusalem artichokes. Let me know in the comments below what your garden is like. Has the winter done its job in resetting the ecological clock in your garden? No matter where you're based, especially if you're based in Ireland, it'd be interesting to know, because I mean, you get to see my garden here, and I'd like to hear from you to see what your garden is like this time of year. Have things died back? Like this is basil mint here. It's definitely finishing. Again, look how lush the perennial kale is. It's pretty much the only thing green out here now at this stage. And the sweet woodruff is also green still. These young forest gardens become a bit of a challenge to navigate this time of year, especially in the summer, actually even more so, because the places turn into a jungle, and in the winter time at least you can see where you're going. And in the winter time now we've got all of these stalks and all this wood as well. This is a paulownia tree here. That was grown from seed actually only about 4 years ago, and look at the size of the tree that it is, or it has become. We have 2 more paulownia trees in the ground in the Woodchip Island. They're not as big as this one, but this one probably has more sunlight here. It's also known as the foxglove tree. It's a very interesting tree. In the first year it actually died back completely down to the ground, and now it's doing really well. So it definitely isn't frost hardy, this tree, but it survived those winters and all that just because of a layer of wood chips on the ground. We didn't really quite cover it. That plastic on the ground is not there for the tree, it's actually to get rid of the nettles a little bit here. We're trying to tame this nettle patch here before it takes over the place again. But I've got the perennials and we've got the old canopy gardening going on here. So we have a lot less weeds in places where we had our perennial plants planted very closely in early spring, so that by midsummer they will actually just take over the place and just eat up all the sunlight, so that the weeds don't grow as well. Jeez, my hands are going blue already. It's that time of year now, it's so cold. If you keep moving, you're sound. But if you stop moving, your feet and your hands turn into ice cubes, especially if you're into drinking coffee and tea, because the old caffeine kind of just pulls all of your energy towards your torso, and your feet and your hands are secondary to the circulatory system. But anyway, this time of year is a great time of year to harvest wood like this here. Let me show you. This is blackcurrants and jostaberry. So I've been harvesting wood here, and all I did here really was actually just planted some blackcurrant cuttings here in this area, and they are very productive, and I've been taking cuttings and plants as well from in between, just to harvest the ones that are a bit too close to each other. If you want to. If you don't, that's okay. You just get wood then every year, or you get berries if you keep the wood. So that's 3 ways you can manage it. You get a plant, either you get a plant like the ones down here, you just dig that up, or you get the wood for propagating, or if you keep the wood until the summer, you get the berries. So remember, currants always have the best fruit on the second year wood. But I'm looking forward to having all the paths done. I'm probably going to do a bit of maintenance here. What does winter mean to me? It's a biological reset. So that means that we are slowing down the ecosystem for a couple of months anyway. Well, we're slowing down for a few months, but then for 2 months the ecosystem pretty much goes close to a standstill, at least here in Ireland, in the Midlands of Ireland, for December and January. And as you can see, it has definitely receded quite a lot since September. That's our jungle month. August, September and October, usually our gardens, especially the young forest gardens, are so productive that the plants and the perennials especially will grow so big that they grow over the paths. And we don't mind that. We just won't use that path for a couple of months of the year during those jungle months later in the growing season. And we get access again as we harvest our way through from October onwards. So it's a great way to manage it. And I always get some extra cuttings as well. And hopefully for the rest of the winter, we'll have nicer paths, so we don't have to deal with the wet on the ground so much. It's all soggy here. You couldn't drive in with a truck or even with the van or a tractor. You'd destroy the place. Look at this. That's just from walking around. It's all muck. So it's the wet season, all right, the winter time, but that's okay because we work with it. Look at this, more flaming willow. And Jerusalem artichokes here. That's what they can look like. I planted these here over 4 years ago. You can check back on the videos. Levi, come here. How are we doing? How are we doing? You attaboy. Ah, good. Good. So what I do with the Jerusalem artichokes, I just harvest them as I go. You don't have to harvest them. You can just leave them in the ground for years and they'll keep growing and clumping. And they do grow out from the clump a little bit, but it's not a big deal. You just harvest the ones on the edge first and when you are ready to take some. And I just pull out the stalks. This is a no-dig garden bed with 6 inches of compost that was put down about 4 years ago, so I better top it up because the tubers aren't as big as they used to be in this garden bed. Look at this. They're a little bit small there, all right. Let's see if I can dig up a few. I actually need to dig up some anyway. Look at that. There's still big ones in it. So that's about the average size there. As I pull up the tubers, I just get rid of the stalks and stack them here like this and make an insect pile. And you're kind of suppressing the weeds here in this area then. And you're creating habitat for all the insects and the beetles. Don't forget, the beetles eat the slug eggs. And if you can reduce slug pressure in your garden, you are onto a winner. I'll make a dedicated video on how to reduce slug pressure yet. Check out the orphrey. Orphrey's already grown, same as all of the garlic and onions. It's that time of year. It's already starting. And they are much hardier than most of the other plants. There's some more, look. There's some perennial borage leaves growing on top of the alliums, probably keeping them a little bit more frost free. But that's it, like, as long as you plant your perennials close to each other, close enough to each other and with enough diversity, you're creating a polyculture, which is something that Toby Hemingway explored in his permaculture books and his presentations some time ago. And plants can actually help each other, and they do help each other in many ways, either to protect each other or give each other nutrients that the other plant needs. Here's some black currants again and a marshmallow plant. Look at that. I might dig that up and divide up the crown. I have a video on how I did that some time ago. That must have been 5 years ago. But I reckon a great way to manage it, for me anyway, to have a couple of acres of gardens and not having to do a huge amount of maintenance, because then you'd be at nothing else, only maintaining the place. I don't really want to put too much time into weeding and all that, so I use the wood chips, I use the canopy gardening, I use the no-dig gardening methods. And it all works out grand, especially if you combine the whole lot. So any new garden that I start, I just plant loads of perennials and I just let them take over the place. And I might harvest some of them in the first winter after the first growing season, but I don't have to. I can just leave them there for an extra year or 2 or 3 or 4 and just harvest them later if you want to. And you can either harvest them for the roots or for plant propagation material, such as cuttings or crown divisions or root cuttings. Or you can just take the flowers year after year. That's another way to manage it, like the American elder or the valerian or echinacea. There's loads of different plants that you can grow where you don't have to kill the plant to harvest something useful from the plant. So you can just take its flowers or its fruits or its leaves instead of its root. And oftentimes it's nearly as good as well. Of course, Vaughn from Spirit of Health KC on YouTube, great herbalist channel and lots of free classes online as well. I've watched hundreds of his classes, and one of the things he talks about is how taking the entire herb, the entire plant, and using it as a herb for medicinal purposes is more beneficial than using one part of the plant, like just the roots or whatever. So apparently using the whole plant is more beneficial than just using the root on its own. Something to look into. And thanks for watching the video. Just a quick video to give you a little update and show you around, show you the garden for a minute, and show you the new microphone. Hopefully it's working okay. Please let me know in the comments below if the quality is as good as it always was. See you later. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah, if you want to buy some plants or cuttings or tubers, like tuberous perennial vegetables, we've got 100 different types of plants available on our online shop. You can still get extra mint by using the discount code or the coupon code extra mint if you want to receive free chocolate mint cuttings and iced tea mint cuttings. We just have so much of it, we want to give some of it back to you for those of you who are interested. Thanks again, and we'll see you the next time. Bye bye.